To all who listen to this happy pod, welcome. My name is Noah Parker, and welcome to my world of wonder, where I am joined by my beautiful wife and co-host, Mrs. Adriana Parker.
Hello, everyone.
Whoops, that's not supposed to be there.
Hello, hello.
Hello, indeed, and welcome to another episode of Noah Parker's World of Wonder. That needs to stop doing that. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but we will fix it.
What are we talking about today?
Last week we talked about all of the things in Disneyland that we missed the first time we went in 2023.
Yes.
And we talked about the ones that we were able to go on this time around and what we thought about them, about the things that we missed. So today we're doing the same exact thing, but about Disney California Adventure. So the other park.
Yay.
There's only 4
that we rode.
Yes.
Was there more?
There is technically 4 other rides. I think 3 other rides actually. 3 other rides that we didn't ride.
But were
we
they closed?
Thought about doing no.
Oh, okay. We thought about doing, but we just
it was the other stuff on Pixar Pier.
Yeah, it was
or like Paradise Garden stuff. Yeah,
right.
The jellyfish, jumping jellyfish, silly symphony swings, the emotional whirlwind, and I think that's it.
Okay.
We did not do those still.
Yeah, we just decided.
We were going to, and we decided nah. And a big reason for that is I have a fear of heights.
Yeah, for this swing one.
And the silly symphony swings looked like it was going to trigger that.
Yeah.
The Golden Zephyr didn't, but it was like borderline, you know?
I thought we did the Golden
We did the Golden Zephyr.
Oh, okay.
That was what made me decide not to do
okay.
silly symphony swings.
Oh, okay. You were a little
The Golden Zephyr
borderline.
was borderline for me, so I'm like
Okay.
this didn't trigger my fear of heights or anything,
exactly.
but
you were like, nah.
it was pushing it.
Yeah.
So
and we wouldn't have been together on that ride too.
no, we would have been next to each other. I think it looked like there was it was like a seat and a seat.
Okay.
It looked like it. I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It just we decided not to. And then the jumping jellyfish looked kind of like a sad version of a drop tower, so we decided not to do that. And the emotional whirlwind was kind of just like, I don't know. It just didn't look entertaining enough to even think about going on.
I already forgot what it looked like. The emotional whirlwind.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's that. But we're not here to talk about those today. We're here to talk about the things we did do. And just like last week, we're going to give them honorary scores for our tier list because I am not going to pull up the tier list. I don't think I made an account to save it.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I would have to rebuild it, and I don't really want to do that. So
okay.
we'll just give them honorary letter grades for now. But yeah, we can start off with the Golden Zephyr, I suppose, if you are happy to.
Okay.
Tell me what you thought about the Golden Zephyr.
I liked it. I feel like it kind of reminded me of the one the space. What's it called? Space
Astro Orbiters.
Astro Orbiters.
Kind of.
That was obviously a little different. See, in the one in Disney World, right? The Astro Orbiters, you can control it, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's Astro Orbiters in Disneyland too. I mean,
oh, really?
It's Dumbo.
Oh, okay.
It's a Dumbo ride.
The Dumbo one, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but we didn't ride that in Disneyland either.
No, we did not.
I don't know. It just gave me kind of that vibe, but I mean, I liked it in general. I feel like it's more of a for kids kind of ride. But it's still.
I feel like out of the group in that Paradise Gardens area, the Golden Zephyr and Goofy Sky School are probably the 2 least kid-oriented, even though I feel like they are pretty... I don't think Goofy Sky School is really kid-oriented, honestly. I don't know if I would take a kid on that.
It's very jerky.
Yes. But the Golden Zephyr is it's the most adult out of the grouping.
Yeah.
But silly symphony swings, kind of a deep cut, but also mostly oriented towards children. Obviously, jumping jellyfish was almost it felt more kiddie to me than
the
emotional whirlwind. So I don't know why we keep going back to those, but
I don't know,
anyway, Golden Zephyr, less kid oriented, but still rather tame for for what it was.
Yeah, I feel like the time for it was good. It wasn't too long. Wasn't too
It was a pretty short wait. I'm pretty sure we just got in line and just had to wait for one ride, and then we got on. And
yeah, the actual ride wasn't like
it was
too
very.
long.
I felt like the ride itself was pretty short.
You thought it was?
I think we only did like 2 or 3, maybe 4 full 360s before.
Yeah.
It stopped.
But also, yeah, but there wasn't a long line, so yeah. That made up for that, but.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, fair enough. What letter would you give this on a tier list?
I'd give it probably a C.
Yeah, I was thinking C as well. It was. I'm glad I went on it.
Yeah.
But that's about all I can say about it.
Yeah, same.
So we'll stick with the C for that one. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Next up on our list, we have Goofy's Sky School. And I would like to talk about that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I was just excited. I was excited to ride this one. And we wanted to go on it the first day we went, right? The first day. But.
The first day we went to California Adventure, which was actually our second day.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. But something.
It was closed all day.
Yeah.
I think it opened really late. I think it opened right before World of Color, and we wanted to watch World of Color, so we didn't stick around to ride it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, I was really excited to ride it. So, yeah, what are your thoughts of it first?
Yeah, so for me, I was excited to ride it because it is the closest analog we have in a Disney park anymore to what used to be my favorite ride in all of Disney for some reason, but specifically Disney Animal Kingdom, and that is the Primeval Whirl roller coaster. The main difference between those two rides is that Primeval Whirl. So Goofy Sky School is a wild mouse coaster. It's a specific kind of
coaster,
compactable roller coaster.
Yeah.
Right. That's the brand.
That's
is
why
Wild
I was
Mouse.
Excited to ride it.
Yeah. And there's one in Lakeside here in Denver, but the closest the ride in Primeval Whirl was a similar ride, but it's not technically Wild Mouse. It was built by a different manufacturer, and the main difference is the car spins around. So like when you take those really sharp turns, it like actually spins the car.
Oh, okay.
So like kind of think
that's cool.
Why can't I think of what it's called off the top? Like, this is so annoying. We literally just watched a video about it and my brain is like not functioning correctly.
We did just watch
Guardians Cosmic Rewind.
Oh, yeah.
Think Cosmic Rewind cars. You know how they rotate?
Yeah.
Think those cars, but on Goofy Sky School track.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I guess the difference is Guardians Cosmic Rewind is computer controlled, so the rotation is controlled by a computer, and these ones are not. The Primeval Whirl ones weren't controlled by a computer. That would just use gravity and physics to make it spin.
Did they close? They closed?
Yeah, they closed that a long time ago, and then they closed the rest of Dino Land just this last year, or just this year. So, but that, I don't know. Anyway,
it reminded you of that kind of.
That was what I was hoping for.
Oh, so you're hoping for?
Yes, that was why I was excited to ride it, but because it doesn't rotate, those corners are way harsher. Like the corners are just as sharp. They were just as sharp on Primeval Whirl.
Pretty sharp, yeah.
Right? The ones on Primeval Whirl were just as sharp, but because the car rotated it did that, it took some of the pressure off of those rotations. Or off those turns. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it was rough.
You're on it.
It was fun.
It was like left turn, right turn, and then your whole body would like go up against me, and I'd be like, ooh, and then left turn, and I would go and like smush your body. But yeah, it was fun, but yeah, it was rough.
It was rough. I would ride it again, but it's not a ride. I don't think I would ever ride it more than once per visit.
Yeah,
like not per day. Like we rode it that one time we went, and that was all that was going to happen that time. If we ever when we go to Disneyland again, it'll happen once.
I had to like
the whole time we're there.
What the word like next time I'll probably like try and refrain like kind
of like lean in with a corner or something. Yeah.
Like
fair enough.
Away, but yeah. See if that changes anything, but
yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, I will grade this one first this time because you graded the last one.
Okay.
So this one I would probably give a C as well
Mhm.
because it's a fun ride. It's not.
Yeah.
Nothing's bad enough that I felt like it should have like a D.
Yeah.
Right. It was
I
just kind of rough.
I think so too.
But
yeah.
I would give him Primeval Whirl an A if it was still open. So it's a couple knocks below that for me. But
yeah, I was falling in between a B and a C. So we can round down C.
stick with the C. Sounds good to me. Right on. I love all the notes that I wrote for what was supposed to be the show the week before, the day before we went, and now they're just kind of in here and we're just using parts of it. That's so funny.
I like that.
This is a cannibalized episode, as was last week's. It was cannibalized from what was supposed to happen before we went. What was supposed to happen is the Monday before we went, May 26th, we were supposed to do this episode where we talked about all of the rides we missed in both parks. That was going to be one episode. And then we would come back. And what ended up being last week's episode was supposed to be us talking about the rides we missed and what we think about them.
That's funny.
So it didn't happen. So it's been cannibalized where I kind of like, okay, well, now we have to talk about the rides we missed and what we think about them and why we missed them in the first place and all that stuff. So any hoozle. Nobody cares about all that. We're moving on to Mater's Junkyard Jamboree.
Okay.
Which I took a video on this. This is one of the only things I think I use double take for. I use several apps for recording on my phone. Specifically, so I use two different phones when I go to Disney. And I use two different apps to record video. Technically 3 different apps to record videos on each of those phones. So I'm using 6 different apps.
Yeah.
To record my stuff. Okay, so one of them is just the regular built-in camera app in the iPhone, right? The second one is called Filmic Pro, which is a app that Apple endorsed when they first came out with like the multiple cameras on the back of the phone thing. Actually, I think it was specifically when they launched the first phone with 3 cameras, which I want to say was the iPhone 11.
I think so.
I think it was the iPhone 11. So they launched it with that, and it's an app that lets you specifically choose which one of those 3 lenses you shoot with. And it also gives you a lot of control over the dynamics of what it looks like, the color grading and all the good stuff, frame rate and everything. Cool. So it gives you a lot of control over the camera. And then they launched another app, Filmic Pro launched another app called Double Take. And that app will allow you to film on 2 of the cameras at one time. Yeah. And so what I use that for most of the time is filming something I'm looking at and filming the front-facing camera at the same time. So it'll be my face and what I'm looking at, because then I can, when I edit it, I can just switch back and forth between the 2 cameras, and you guys can see what I'm looking at too. All that to say, the only thing that I filmed on that app on this trip was when we were riding Mater's Junkyard Jamboree. Yeah. And I was going to put it in the vlog, and I was watching, and my face was just so sullen the whole time. Oh, like, I did not look like I was having fun. Oh, no. And I don't know why. I think I was judging people. Oh, yeah. Because like low-key there were some people in line in front of us that ended up riding like at the same time we were, that I was like hardcore judging because they were like not controlling their annoying, there was like 2 adults. It was like some kind of group, I guess, school group or something. Yeah,
I am guessing they were teenagers.
Yeah, and they were being chaperoned by these 2 adult ladies, and they were just talking the whole time and like not controlling them or paying attention to them at all. It seemed to me like it was one of those things where it was like a school and they're like, oh, if you chaperone this, we'll pay for your trip to Disneyland. And they're like, oh, sign me up. And they're not actually like, they have no interest in actually chaperoning.
That's so funny.
But anyway, I would think I was judging them the whole time. So I didn't end up using any of the footage.
Yeah, I think like really like it's kind of crazy how other people can kind of make or break your experience with some rides.
Yeah, for real.
Like the line itself, like when we were just in line for it, like we were just kind of we're in front of these annoying people. So like when we were riding the ride, we were like kind of annoyed. Not maybe like fully being present with it, and like you said, you're judging like others, but
yeah. But I also think that I kind of went into Junkyard Jamboree
also with that mindset of not
really,
we're just riding this to just ride it,
kind of, but it's because because
And
we've
the
ridden
line was
alien
so
swirling
long.
saucers for oh, that made me mad.
The line was so
That
long.
was annoying because the queue said it was 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I swear we waited for probably an hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh, an hour and a half.
It felt like, do you think it was less?
I think it was probably like maybe an hour, but like an hour and a half. And
I don't know. It felt like an hour and a half to me.
That's crazy.
It was a long time.
I would have. Yeah, not.
Yeah. I don't know. It felt long.
Yeah.
It
that's
was
crazy.
way longer than I would have actually been willing to wait for it, honestly.
Yeah.
So that is what it is. But also, I kind of went into it being like, well, this is basically alien swirling saucers, and I've ridden that 100 times, and I don't love it. I don't hate it.
I remember when you made me ride that ride for the first time in Disney World, and you were like, you wanted to see my react. Like, you seemed like you were excited for me to ride it for the first time in Disney World.
I think that was only my second time riding it ever myself.
Oh, really? You were like...
So I think I kind of enjoyed it a lot more the first 2 times. After that, it really lost its... It really lost its charm with me after that. Like, I'm just kind of like, eh. It's what it is. It's a thing.
Okay.
I don't hate it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad ride.
Yeah.
But it is like, there's a few ride like okay, I will pretty much get in a line for oh my gosh. Hold on, it's here. Rise of the Resistance. Well, in Disney World, I will just get in it whenever.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter to me really what the wait time is. I'll get on it. Alien Swirling Saucers is one of those, like, if it's less than 30 minutes, I'll get in line for it.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Yeah.
Which is the same, which is kind of the rule I set for
get
myself with Maters is like, oh, if it's less than 30 minutes, I'll get in line. And it said 20, so we did.
More aimed for kids, too, I feel like, that ride. So.
I don't know. I guess.
Kid friendly.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, yeah.
Didn't hate it, didn't love it. What letter do you give this one?
I feel kind of boring, but I don't think I want to say C again. Maybe D. Maybe D for just the overall experience.
I can see, and I can agree with that, honestly. Like, because of the experience, I will give it a D.
Yeah, and it's not
the
like
ride itself is
like,
probably
we're
a
being
C,
so, like,
but
like, oh, we're like so like ungrateful and blah blah. Like, I think it's just like we were smiling and we were having fun. Well, maybe you weren't smiling, but
apparently I thought I was. But
so
looking back at
funny.
the video, I'm like,
but I guess like your inside feelings were like, okay, yeah, we're in Disney, like this is fun.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like it didn't ruin like really
absolutely
any vibes
not.
or anything.
Absolutely not.
Like, I feel like when I give low scores, I'm like, oh, but I feel bad, but like.
Okay, but like, here's the thing we have to keep in mind when we're grading these things. Okay, the only letter grade that we give things that actually means anything, it means anything was bad, I guess, is the F.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's an F tier, it means it is bad.
Yeah.
Okay, anything above that is like, it was basically where I'm sitting right now. Like, I didn't hate it.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Still
D.
fun. Still enjoyed it. Didn't hate it.
Yeah. But it's
like, not among the top 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Okay, D.
F is the only thing where it's like, yeah, no, not happening.
Yeah.
Are you having fun?
Sorry.
You're bumping the heck out of this table.
My foot is cold.
You should. I told you to put on socks.
You did?
Yes. I said, because you said I should put on a sweater, and I said, maybe you should get some sweats and socks. And you said, I'm just going to get a sweater. So that's your fault. Okay, well, my bad. I'll scream it next time. No. Let's move on. We've only got one more, and then we're going to go to Mickey's Neck of the Woods, which low key is going to be a minute today because we'll get to that. But
there's
anywho,
a lot?
There's a lot.
Oh, okay.
But anywho, we have to talk about this one. Because it's the only one on this list that we actually did experience last time. Mm-hmm. And we were going to give another opportunity this time.
And we did?
We did not.
We didn't.
We did not. And that is Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout.
Yeah, I was kind of excited. Like, I was excited to give it another try, but like...
Me too.
We just couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't going to wait that long line.
Yeah.
Like...
The wait was 180 minutes... like 45 minutes after the park opened.
Yeah.
Lightning lanes disappeared before I even had a chance to really think about the fact that we were trying to get one.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I will honestly take some of the blame for not getting the lightning lane for it, because the way lightning lanes work in Disneyland is you have to physically be in the park before you can start booking lightning lanes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you can only book one at a time. Unlike in Disney World, where you can book depending on your situation, 3 to 5 days in advance, and you can book 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Right? With this one, you have to wait till you're in the park day of to book it. Okay.
Yeah.
And we got into the park 15 minutes after early entry opened. And then what happened is I was looking for lightning lanes. The first one I was looking for was Mission Breakout.
Mm-hmm.
But the first available Mission Breakout lightning lane wasn't until 5 o'clock at that point.
Yeah.
And since so there's exceptions to the fact that you can only hold one at a time. And that is if you wait rule. 2 hours, 120 minutes, you can book another one.
Mm-hmm.
The issue there is if I had booked that 5 o'clock Guardians right when we got into the park, we would not have been able to get any lightning lanes for 2 hours. And then we would be booking lightning lanes for like 11 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not open that late, but we'd be booking them for like 7, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. We wouldn't have any lightning lanes in the daytime.
Yeah.
And we'd have to wait until the end of the day. And then if every time you stack one of those 120-minute rules on top of each other, you can only book a lightning lane every 2 hours. So
it's just like
over 8 hours, you've booked 4 lightning lanes.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then what? Like now I haven't ridden anything today.
Yeah, exactly.
So first of all, I'm just going to say lightning lanes in Disneyland pissed me off.
Hot take.
And I don't use that word on here very often.
Get on your soapbox.
I don't like, it is honestly probably something that will keep me from really wanting to go to Disneyland again.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we're going to do it. And if we do go to Disneyland again, I will probably want to do it whenever. I'm going to look it up, research, and be like, what is the slowest time of year at Disneyland? And that's when we're going to go. Even if it's in mid-December or whatever, mid-November when it's cold, or January, whatever, when it's cold and icy and cold, freezing, everything snowing. I don't care. Because lightning lanes in Disneyland are stupid. And it is not worth the money you pay for it. In my opinion.
I mean, I still would rather pay for it than like wait in those long lines, because I hate waiting in long lines. But yeah, I agree, it's not worth it. Like I don't know. Especially compared to Disney World.
Like Disney World, see, and the biggest thing that we noticed, and this is calm down time, calm down time. So the biggest thing that we noticed is that in Disney World, virtually every ride in every park has a lightning lane. Okay. And I say virtually, but I'm pretty sure it is actually every ride. Okay, here's the exceptions. You ready for the exceptions for rides that don't have lightning lane?
Yeah.
That's going to be the train. That doesn't have a lightning lane. The magic, or the Walt Disney World Railroad doesn't have that. But that's also considered transportation, technically. The Tom Sawyer River raft doesn't have one, which doesn't matter because that's going to be closed in like a week anyway. Whatever. We'll get to that. The Liberty Square Riverboat.
Yeah.
Actually, I keep calling it the Liberty Square Riverboat. I don't think it's actually called the Liberty Square. I think it's called the Liberty Bell Riverboat. Doesn't have lightning lane. Everything else has lightning. Everything has actually, Grand Fiesta Tour does not have lightning lane. I think that is the only proper ride in Walt Disney World that does not have a lightning lane. And I would be willing to bet that that'll probably change.
Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
In Disneyland, both California Adventure and Disneyland Park, only like half the rides have lightning lane.
Yeah.
And so when you really look at it, in Disney World, you have, first of all, you have 4 parks that these hundreds of thousands of people are at. So they're dispersed there, getting lightning lanes, right? And then you also have probably, we'll say 15 to 30 attractions per park to get lightning lanes for.
Yeah.
Right? So everyone's kind of spreading out. In Disneyland, since it's 50% or less that have lightning lanes, everybody is fighting for the same freaking lightning lanes. And so it makes them really hard to get It's really competitive, and if you're
Yeah.
not on the ball, you're gonna miss stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not fair.
you kind of have to get into the park and like aim for your biggest one, and then
Yeah.
you might get other ones,
That's true.
but you probably won't.
Yeah. It's hard. It's rough out there.
Yeah. So Disneyland Lightning Lanes kind of suck.
You gotta change that Disneyland.
And I don't know what they
Get
need to
some
do.
Good money for doing that.
Well, it wouldn't work for Disneyland, I don't think. But I was gonna say what they need to do is do what Universal has with their VIP pass.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think they could do Lightning.
I don't think they could do that with. I don't think they could do that kind of thing with Lightning Lanes at Disney.
Why Disneyland?
Way more people.
Way more people.
There's way more people in Disney parks
than
in Universal parks.
Oh, okay. So okay, I understand.
So, I just don't think it would work.
Mm-hmm.
There would be thousands of people trying to do one lightning lane at a time, and it would kill it.
Mm.
So it's unfortunate. But I guess also if they put the price point higher, that might lower the number of people who are doing it.
Yeah.
Because like in Universal, it's like $130 or something for VIP pass.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between Lightning Lane and VIP pass is Universal's VIP pass. You pay the $130. You go in any ride that has a VIP queue, and you just boom skip the line, right? And you can ride the same ride multiple times.
Yeah, that's cool.
With Lightning Lane, you have to book a Lightning Lane, and you can only ride one ride. You can only ride each ride once.
Yeah.
So
lame.
I don't know. I need to back down here a second because we need to actually talk about. Well, we're kind of talking about the ride. We didn't end up getting a Lightning Lane for it because by the time I was like, screw it, let's just get one because I'm having a hard time getting Lightning Lanes anyway. There were no more Lightning Lanes for it, and that was at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
the park had only actually been open for like 2 hours at that point.
Yeah, and like you tried, what, the 2 times that we went?
Yeah, both times we were in California Adventure, and one of the times we sat for a solid 45 minutes, and I just refreshed for 45 minutes straight, just hoping for something, and it didn't come up, and I was not about to wait in that. It was 180 minutes at one point. I'm like, that's not happening. No, thank you. Not interested anymore.
Yeah,
Pass.
exactly. We would rather be doing other things.
So,
tell us if you're someone who's willing to wait in like really long lines, or if you're like us and
It's like I said before too. Like I don't really mind.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me, it's kind of changed since I got my annual pass. Like I'm way more willing now to wait in lines than I would have been.
Yeah.
See, and I think the biggest thing is
true.
like
that's another
for
factor.
for you, this is a once a year thing.
Yeah.
So getting as much done as possible is a huge priority.
That's true.
And that's totally valid in my opinion.
That's true.
But because I have an annual pass to Walt Disney World now, and I've already been to Disney World twice this year, and I'm going again in a month and 2 months or whatever it is in September, like I don't mind waiting in a long line because I'll probably be back in a couple months, right? But like for like people, for instance, once a year, or some people once in a lifetime, like I totally understand. Like that's why I like Lightning Lanes because you can do that.
Exactly. Anyway, well, we didn't write it, so we
didn't write it, so I cannot give it a better grade than we already have.
Same.
And I don't remember. I think we gave it a D last time, which is the only exception to the rule. Just because it's in D doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't actually. I still don't think it was a bad ride. I just think we had a really bad experience on it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was really hoping to not
to
let that be the thing that the thought of it that just lives in my brain. But it is. So I guess that is what it is. Enough about that. We're going to move on now and find out what's going on in Mickey's neck of the woods. There is quite a bit going on in Mickey's neck of the woods, as a matter of fact.
Nice.
And if I hit my buttons correctly over here, we can find out what. Nice. You've seen all of this probably because I sent it to you, but this is the first one on here, and I'm like, this may have been in last week's episode.
Oh.
Actually, now that I'm no? Okay.
So.
Well, Communicore Hall has been revamped to become Goofy Core Hall, which I am honestly so excited to go to because Goofy is my favorite Fab Five character, and so having like basically an entire pavilion dedicated to Goofy is so cool to me.
Yeah, it's cool.
And there's like dancers who are dressed in like very Goofy inspired outfits, and it actually gave me some really good ideas for like bounding.
Nice.
So, but that is open now. Oh no, I must not have started at the beginning. We talked about this for sure.
Yeah, we did with that one.
This one, I don't think we talked about, but maybe we did. Disney's new, was it called Dream the Night Away? Disneyland, yeah, Dream the Night Away officially premieres on July 20th of this year. And there's going to be some really cool floats with like Maribel and Bruno and Isabella. Sure.
There you go.
I think that's supposed to be, well, it's just like a nighttime parade with like a lot of lights. So kind of like a more modern, I guess, version of the Main Street Electrical Parade, and maybe not quite as techno music based, which is cool. Then there's Goofy Core. And then something big is coming to Disney Springs, and this is something that I kind of didn't really care about, but we threw it in here anyway. The NBA experience that used to be there has it closed back forever ago, and they're getting ready to reopen it as Level 99, which is basically like, I guess you can see on the screen, it's like a weird, immersive,
Interesting
arcade kind of thing.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, it is actually
Cinnamon
a
apple
place
bread. That sounds delicious.
Yeah. So Level 99 is actually
that.
What's the word I'm looking for? I cannot think of what it's called. It's like a
escape room.
A fun center, I guess.
Yeah, like a fun center.
And there's a fun center. It's like a brand that already exists. And these folks at Disney Food Blog said they went to one in Massachusetts that already existed, so they could kind of get an idea of what to expect. So that is coming to Disney Springs eventually.
Very cool.
This was a neat little thing that I just thought was kind of cool to add in here, and it's a I swear I talked about this last week.
No, we didn't.
There's a hidden secret at Memento Mori, where if you go to this portrait in the back of the
oh wait, maybe you did with this one.
So yeah, see, you go to this portrait in the back of the shop and you knock on it and it gets all spooky. I swear I've said like nearly that exact same thing before, so I'm pretty sure we talked about that already. And then All Ears posted a little thing called Everything Happening in Disney World in June. So first we have the last day of the Flower Garden Festival, which was June 2nd, so that has ceased to be a thing anymore. Then Geo 82 Bar and Lounge has opened. Opened on June 4th, which as of recording was 5 days ago already.
Crazy.
Good Lord. That is a thing I will certainly be checking out when I get down to the parks again.
Nice.
It is reservation based though. You have to have a reservation, so I'm gonna try to get one of them, which is why that's another reason we need to get that stuff sorted out, so I know when it's happening. Muppet Vision 3D is permanently closed as of yesterday, and of course I wasn't able to go do anything about it.
Tears, sad days. But you probably didn't either.
I'm gonna say some things here. We're planning a video coming up soon. After we get through all of our Disneyland content, one of the first videos we come out with after that will probably be a Disney memes like reaction video, because I keep getting a whole bunch of them. But there's one that came up that sparked the idea for that video that I'm actually going to talk about right now because it's really funny to me. It is annoying. You know what? I'm going to try to pull it up really quick. Okay. Is it this one? I'm going to try to keep speaking so that I don't leave any dead air. And of course it's not loading.
Oh, well that's fun.
Okay, nope. Was it in here? Basically it's a meme where here it is. Okay.
Can you show it?
I'm going to pull it up. Okay, so it's a meme, and this guy is standing in front of Superstar Limo in 2001 and says,
it's better than the original.
Oh my gosh, hold on. That's going too fast. This is something that you got to just stick with it. Hold on. So the first one is Superstar Limo, which opened with California Adventure in 2001. It was kind of creepy. But the caption says, like, okay, well, that was absolute garbage, right? And then in 2006, they revamped it to Monsters, Inc., Mike and Sully to the rescue, right? And then the guy is like, I mean, it's like better than the original. And then in 2025, this year, they announced that they're going to be closing that ride to make room for the new Avatar Land coming, right? And then it's the dude again, and he says, why would they take away the best ride they ever made? Okay,
yeah,
so all of that to say,
that's how it is with Muppets.
Disney adults who are complaining about this stuff so much literally do this all the time, okay, where they will.
You're not one of those.
It's not so much that I don't think so.
No, I don't think you are.
It's not so much that like they hate these things, okay, it's not like they don't like them. It's just that they don't pay any attention to it, right? They couldn't care less about its existence until Disney says something about closing it, and then they lose their minds like it's the worst thing they've ever done, right? And I've got several things to say about that. Number one, as far as Muppet Courtyard goes, this one, as far as Muppet Courtyard goes, where were you when they were trying to decide what to close to make room for Monsters, Inc.? Because clearly you weren't in there.
Nowhere.
Because if there was enough people in that area, they would have been like, yeah, we can't close that because that is obviously a very popular area. Right?
Yep.
So there's that.
And then so many people ended up going to the Muppets.
Well, yeah.
Right? Like on the
yesterday.
last day,
it was crazy over there yesterday.
Crazy packed.
And I'm like, what? Why all of a sudden?
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden?
It's that saying, right, that I told you the other day. You're like, he don't know how much you love something or until it's gone or
something like that. Yeah. And
I realize how much you love something until it goes away or something like that.
Yeah. But then the other thing that I have to say about that is Walt, when he first built Disneyland, said that Disneyland will never be completed as long as there's imagination left in the world.
Yep.
Every time I see something change in Disney World, Disneyland, anywhere, okay? Whenever something changes in the parks, I can rest assured that there is still imagination in the parks. There's still imagination in the world. Do I agree with all of the stuff they come out with? No. Not really. No.
Yeah.
However, things have to change. We expect them to change. Walt expected them to change. Walt wanted them to change. And I'm okay with that.
Yep.
People, okay, and the funny thing, too, is I was listening to a podcast recently, and they were interviewing one of the guys who was around when Walt was there and around when Walt passed away, right? And it's a very common belief that the Imagineers and everything would think, what would Walt do, right? When they were trying to figure out a question or anything. And that is an oversimplification of how they would think. And the guy in the podcast was talking about it, and he said the thought process they actually went into is, how would Walt solve this problem? What mindset would he put himself in? What things would he look at when trying to solve this problem? Not what would Walt do? How would Walt react, more or less? Nice. Is kind of how I interpreted that. So, anyway, all that to say, I'm sad that Muppet Vision 360, I'm sad that Muppet Vision 3D and the Muppet Courtyard is closing, but I'm very excited for what's coming in its place.
Oh yeah.
And I'm excited that they're getting moved over, that they're going to be in Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah.
Of course, I love the Aerosmith version of Rock and Roller Coaster.
It's not like it's.
But I'm excited to see what they do with it with Muppets. Like.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Let's let them do some stuff.
Yeah.
Let them cook.
Let them change a little stuff.
Anyway, well, let's back down from that. I have dyed to that grass like probably neon red at this point. But then Pizza Rizzo. I don't know why anybody's upset about this. This is like, in my opinion, the worst theme park pizza in theme park pizza history.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been there, but it's bad. It was not worth going over there to get it, in my opinion. Then, of course, June 26th is 626 Day. That's a spoiler. I'm not going to say that on here. Never mind. 626 Day. I don't really. It's just happening, I guess. And then, fun fact: the day after that, I turned 28 years old.
There you go.
Grandpa podcast time. And that's it. That's all that's happening in June in the parks. And then we got some big stuff. First of all, the Rivers of America are officially closing.
Oh my goodness.
On July 7th of this year.
Wow.
So the July 6th will be your last day to ride the Liberty Bell Riverboat, and I believe go to Tom Sawyer Island.
I'm glad I wrote it.
Because they are closing it to fill in some of the land, some of the river there, to make way for the new Cars Land that is coming. And Mark did that in a second. I kind of spoiled it because it was before this in the lineup, but it's okay. Those of you listening on podcast have no idea what happened before this. And in addition, the starting July 7th, the Walt Disney World Railroad will temporarily operate in shuttle mode, skipping the Frontierland station. So what that means, as I didn't understand it when I first read it, but listening to some other fellow podcasters, it makes more sense, and I understand what they actually mean by that now. It will operate in shuttle mode, meaning it will go from the Fantasyland station, which is technically the Storybook Circus station, I guess, to the Main Street station. That will happen going forwards, as the train always has.
Okay.
However, it will not go from Main Street to Frontierland. It will make a return trip to Storybook Circus, and it will do that in reverse.
Okay. Well,
so the train will go backwards through Tomorrowland and back to Storybook Circus.
Okay.
Which is wild, actually, because those are like the closer of the two stations. Like, Frontierland Station is the farthest away from the other two stations. And that's where all the storytelling on the railroad happens. So it's kind of lame that like the only not to be that guy, but the only part of the Walt Disney World Railroad that's actually like entertaining is the only part of it that you're not going to be able to see.
That's funny.
So that's kind of a thing. But that is again July 7th when that starts. So July 6th is your last time to ride the Walt Disney World Railroad in its full loop. It's your last time to ride the Liberty Bell, and it is your last time to visit Tom Sawyer Island. Again, I think, because I don't see it. Doesn't. Hold on, I gotta read this again. Okay, yeah. Last day of operation for the Liberty Bell Riverboat, and Tom Sawyer Island.
Okay.
July 6th. You know what's funny about that? This is really random, but when I was at Disney with Mom in April, they were training somebody to drive the boat, the rafts, to go to Tom Sawyer Island. And I'm like, you trained somebody to do this for
like a month,
2 months, 3 months.
I guess. That's
and
crazy.
then they have to move somewhere else. So, anywho. All right, next we get on to the exciting stuff, the exciting stuff. We finally have information about Cars Land coming to Disney's Magic Kingdom.
Nice.
First of all, on our screen here, for those of you listening, sorry you can't see this. But on the screen here, we have Ranger J. Autobahn Woodlore. Who is actually he's a play on a character from previous Disney animations. So that's fun.
Nice.
And yeah, it's this guy. But yes, so that is that's part of it. He's got little feet, and so the truck has little tires. It's really cute. Like, go head over to Disney Food Blog and check out their news to if you're listening to audio only again, to look at these photos, because it's literally like they did a really good job. It's really adorable.
It's cute.
But with that, we also received, I guess it's down here now, the big news about Cars Land coming to Magic Kingdom. The Cars Land expansion is called Piston Peak, which is, I believe, someone said was not showcased, but it appeared in one of the Planes movies. So this is what's really interesting, and it's kind of one of those weird twisty things. Okay, Cars 2, Cars 3, right? Those are Pixar movies, right? Planes, Fire and Rescue or whatever it is, those are Disney movies.
Yeah.
They exist in the same universe, but they were created in different studios.
Yeah.
Right? So this is like that thing finally bridging the gap, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Because the land itself is inspired on Piston Peak, which exists in Planes, but I guess the characters, we'll see if some of the we'll see if like Lightning and Mater end up here.
That'd be cool.
We don't know that yet. I guess we don't know anything about this other than like there's the ride is going to be like basically Radiator Springs Racers, but racing through an off-road track instead of a pavement track.
Okay.
But it's called Piston Peak,
Nice.
and it's actually I'm very intrigued by the layout, because if you look at the photo, you can see that like Tiana's Bayou Adventure is behind it. Like where the point of view we're looking at is like the entrance of it, right? And Tiana's is directly behind it.
That is interesting.
Which means the entrance to this place is like directly next to the Haunted Mansion. So that's kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
I kind of like, my brain can't comprehend how it's going to work.
Yeah.
But we'll find out, I suppose.
We'll see.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Sad that we're losing stuff, but excited that, again, we're moving new stuff in.
Yeah.
We're getting cool stuff, in my opinion. Sorry for everyone who thinks cars going into Magic Kingdom is stupid. I guess I agree. I don't agree that it's stupid, but I agree that like maybe they could have found another place for it.
Yeah.
But
that's okay.
I'm not angry that it's going into Magic Kingdom. It's fine.
I think it'll be fun.
It can be there.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
And I think they have I do think it's actually going to tie in to the area a little bit nicer. Cuz like it's what breaks me right now is that there's Frontierland, and then there's a random bayou, and then you're in a Frontier again because you go to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad.
Right.
But Tiana's Bayou Adventure really breaks that apart. With this coming in, it will connect. It looks to me it will more or less connect those two lands a little bit.
Yeah. That's true.
Hopefully, I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't get how like Tiana's Bayou Adventure just doesn't fit in that area to me.
Oh well.
So I don't know how people can be mad about this thing that's actually themed to like Frontier kind of thing, but not be mad about a bayou being in the middle of the Frontier. So whatever. people will disagree with everything. So, and then we have Disney Food Blog posting what's coming to Disneyland. The Avatar expansion coming to Disneyland eventually, which will include an Avatar boat ride. And then the Mandalorian and Grogu will be coming to the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run on May 22nd, 2026. And I'm really curious to see how that ties in. I've mentioned it before, so I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot again. But I'm curious how they're going to tie that in, because like the ride operates one way right now, and I'm very curious to see how they change it. Yeah. Then there's new Coco ride coming to California Adventure, and that will begin in 2026. Cool. This, I believe, based on concept art and what I think what it looks like the photos are showing, is this will be going in kind of by Goofy's Sky School. There's like a facade over there that looks familiar to me. So in that back area, Paradise Gardens area. Nice. Yeah, that'll and then Infinity Defense is going to be opening eventually. I love all this TBD, like
to be determined.
To be determined. Well, eventually, I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Stark Flight Lab was also coming eventually. And then Walt Disney: A Magical Life at Main Street Opera House will open on July 17th of this year, and it is the only reason I'm mad that we already have gone to Disneyland this year, because I would love to have gotten the opportunity to go sit and watch Walt talk. Yeah. But I also know people are having very mixed feelings about a Walt animatronic. But that's all that's coming to, not all, that is a lot of what's coming to Disneyland Park. I actually am going to take this out because I don't know if this is actually like a legit news source or not. Oh, okay. But I guess I'll talk about it since I pulled it up. There's apparently rumors that there's going to be a Haunted Mansion themed restaurant coming to Disney Villains World at Disney World's Villains Land in Magic Kingdom. The only reason that I think that's probably fake is because they're not villains.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that's all I got to say about that. They're not villains, so I don't think that fits personally. But
yeah.
oh, and then I guess I didn't actually talk about the new Avatar Land. This is the official, not official, but this is like all year's post about it. The new Avatar Land will take over part of Hollywood Backlot area at Disney California Adventure. As I kind of mentioned before, they'll be closing Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the rescue to make way for that. And here's the one I was talking about. It's going to be the new Coco ride will be located near Paradise Gardens Park and Pixar Pier at Disney California Adventure. That little bit to the left, you see what it says Casa de la Familia, right? Mm-hmm. That little bit to the left, it's like kind of like the towery bit. Yeah. That looks familiar from when we were there. So I think I know where that is. Yeah. But anyway, then there was this thing about Muppets closing, but we already knew that was happening. So, and then finally this one came through today. So this is like the most newest bit we have from Walt Disney World News today. And that is that most of the construction walls have been removed from Test Track. And they have the new Test Track sign put in place. But most of the construction walls are down, so you can actually like see the front facade now, which typically means they're not that far off from opening. Could be a while still. Don't get your hopes up too high. Yeah. But they're not that far off. Okay. So excite. Nice. And yeah, that appears for now to be all for What's Going On in Mickey's Neck of the Woods. I feel like I struggle on that every single time to get it to make sense. Thank you. I was leaning forward really far there, but I'm going to lean back now because we are smacking ourselves in the mouth with our microphones. It's closing time, so we can wrap it up here. Want to talk about socials?
You can go ahead and find us on TikTok with the Noah Parker World of Wonder. We post every day on there some cool shorts, and you can also find us on Instagram and Facebook, also at Noah Parker's World of Wonder, where you'll be seeing that same type of shorts but on a different platform. And then of course you can there's YouTube here on the YouTube Noah Parker _ channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe, share it with your friends and family. We really appreciate it. And did I get it all?
Yeah, I think so. We've actually started doing some more. So with our shorts and TikToks in the past, it's pretty much just been like clips from the show. Mm-hmm. But recently we have started like making dedicated content. Yeah. It's still both. Like we are still putting out like clips from the show, but we are trying to put in a little bit more as we have time together and we have ideas. We're trying to do more like dedicated content for vertical platforms. Mm-hmm. So we're doing that some more. We hope you guys like all of that because we honestly have a lot of fun making them. We are having a lot of fun. And we got some new equipment to make it even better. So we're excited about that. But that equipment is that is going to be very used very fast. Oh, yeah. But yeah. We hope you guys are enjoying everything. Mm-hmm. We are currently sitting at 711 subscribers, which 711 to us is a really big deal number. So we're really just kind of believing that we're in a season that is about to spawn some major growth. Yeah. And we're excited. We're very excited.
Hope you're all excited.
We hope you're excited. Yes, indeed. So Wednesday night, Adriana and I will be, or maybe I don't know what we're doing for game night this week.
Yeah.
But we will be live on the channel to play some kind of a game, whether it's me and Adriana playing a game together or I pull out the old MC Parks or play. I don't know. Maybe I'll play another game. There's other stuff I could do. But not sure exactly what that is just yet.
TBD.
TBD, indeed. And then I believe DCOM Kids is on low key. We're kind of on a hiatus for a little bit.
A little pause.
Yeah, just a little pause because although Adriana's schedule gets very free in the summertime, evidently Marcy's does not. She's very busy right now doing what she loves, working with kids in theater, and I'm really happy that she has an opportunity to do that as a job. So I would not dare stand in her way in a attempt to stress her out by trying to get her to do a podcast as well. So we let her do her thing. And it's like the thing is, like, I think she is very willing to do it. It's just the times that she's available to do it are very inconvenient for me.
Yeah, because you also work. So.
Yeah. So I'm totally fine with just taking a little break for a little bit. Yeah. I may go back and like post some backlog stuff, because we started doing DCOM Kids like only a couple months into the podcast, and then it became its own show, and so there is an independent show on Spotify for it that only has like probably half of the ones we've done. So I may go back and throw some of the older ones in there, just so they all end up in the same bin on Spotify. But it won't do anything on YouTube though. I'm not going to republish anything on YouTube, because I think that's stupid. But anyway, we'll see you on Wednesday, and then of course Monday at 8 p.m. Oh, and we also have a vlog coming out. If you're watching live on YouTube right now, we have a vlog coming out at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. If you're listening to this later on, it came out on Tuesday the 10th at 4 o'clock. Okay, go watch it.
Check it out, guys.
And we are shifting those videos over to Saturday. So we are actually going to have a vlog out on Tuesday, and then we'll have the second part of the vlog out on Saturday.
Yeah.
So you only have to wait a few days to get part 2. Part 3 will be a full week from that, though, because it'll be on the following Saturday. And then we got some other fun stuff we filmed in Disneyland that'll come out after that. We may try to start sprinkling in like other home videos, just because there's some relevant stuff, I think, that may need to happen before some of the other stuff from Disneyland comes out. But anyway, I talk a lot. We'll see you on Wednesday, and then of course Monday night.
Yapper.
Gee whiz.
I didn't mean to do that so loud. We got one comment that was like,
yeah,
yapper.
Someone called me a yapper, and I'm like, that's kind of the point of a podcast, buddy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, anyway.
Right on. Well, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you on Monday. But until then, my dear friends, let the wonder take hold. That's